Hello Homo sapiens and welcome back to my skateboarding vlogging YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. For this video, I feel like I wanted to portray a certain type of message, one that's kind of obvious and somewhat cliche, but I felt like I try to explain it in my own way through my skateboarding and through the words coming out of my mouth. So yeah, this is Time to Endure Part 2, and this is a session with a kickflip and a heel flip down a 3-stair. You guys have already seen me do this before, but I feel like showing it again because the session that I was having that day was a bit of a rough one, but I tried to push through and make the most out of my situation. So basically, I was in a super duper bad mood, wasn't really feeling it, but I'm like, you know what, let me go skate, let me try to, I guess, skate the pain away, or maybe I'll feel better after I go for a little skate. So I do. I go to the spot. I'm super duper mad, super duper impatient, and I'm just not really feeling it that much at all, you know. I'm throwing my board around, I'm cussing, doing stuff that I'm not really, doing stuff that I just really shouldn't be doing. But after skating for a while, I decided to focus all of that energy and all that anger and frustration into my tricks. So I decided to focus on doing a heel flip and a kick flip down the stair set. And as I did that, my anger began to go away. But enough of me explaining this. I'll keep explaining it more as I go throughout the battle, or the battles. Here you go. And thus the battle begins. You got that guy right there, just saying hi to the camera. You got me over here, committing, right there, first try. Just honestly just trying to go for it. And as you can see here, there are a couple of times when I roll up to it. You guys don't know this about me that much, or maybe you do, but if you're like one of my personal friends, you know that I oftentimes overthink things too much, especially when it comes to skating stairs. I can skate stairs pretty well. I've been doing it for a while now, to the point where it's not really that bad. And it's not really that difficult for me to do what I have to do, but my brain is just constantly telling me, like, oh, you're gonna get hurt, or you're gonna eat crap, or you're gonna get bodied, and everything has to be perfect. Like, you see me rolling up here, maybe that was because I kept thinking too much about the speed. Like, me and like overthinking stairs, like I'm at the point now where I question like how much speed I need to truly make it work. Because like if I think I'm going too fast, I think I might get wheel bite or slip out. Or if I feel like I'm going too slow, I'm gonna clip the stairs and just slam to the bottom. Yeah, I really have begun to overthink this too much, but I was really just trying to get my head in the game and just try to keep an open mind about all this and just try to commit as much as I could. Like, even if I kicked my board up, or even if I tried rolling out of it, I figured that'd be better than just me just constantly rolling up to it. Because my friends would always tell me that if I do that, it would be difficult for me to try the trick again when I actually want to commit, because I wouldn't be as warmed up. As you can tell from the footage here, I'm constantly getting robbed. I can't tell you how many times I fully committed to the trick and did not land it. But the fact that I got so close means that it's a good thing, you know? I'm going to stick it sooner or later, and I'm going to land it. Or just get wheel bite and have to tumble out of it. But I'm glad I took the time to make this work, and I'm glad I decided to try this again, you know? I don't really try doing flip tricks downstairs that much, or at least not that often, but I was willing to make it work, and I was willing to go through some pain and frustration to make this work, you know, because I wasn't feeling it that well, or I wasn't really feeling it earlier throughout the day. But I'm like, hey, you know, might as well channel all that anger and turn it into something useful, right? Yeah, there I totally freaking lost it, but or at least a little bit. But I decided to keep going, keep an open mind about it all. I started complaining a little bit, and then sooner or later I got my moment of truth, and everything worked out the way it was supposed to. And that's heel flips down a 3-stair. Next is the kick flip. I feel like when it comes to doing the heel flip and the kick flip downstairs, I feel like I have this weird on and off relationship with it. Like, my heel flips are better like on flat, but I feel like I have a harder time catching heel flips on stairs. Yet while my kick flips are not always good on flat, sometimes they are, other times they aren't. Sometimes when it comes to stairs, I can catch it a lot easier and I'm more likely to land on the board. But sometimes when it comes to doing kick flips, I already lack control on flat, which made it super difficult to really get this kick flip off the stairs. As you can see there, I totally got robbed. Freaking fell into that grass patch on the side, but you guys can't see it. And overthinking it a little bit. And I feel like one of the errors I've begun to fully acknowledge while skating stairs is me messing up my foot position. When it comes to me doing ollies or doing front 180s downstairs, I don't really think about it that much. Like my body automatically remembers where my feet are supposed to be when it comes to doing ollies or front 180s downstairs sets. I don't even have to look at my board. I just look at the stair set and where I'm gonna land and just go for it. But I feel like when it comes to heel flips and kick flips, I often try to improvise too much and really try to assume what foot position is best instead of using the original one I used from flat, which just makes it a lot harder than it needs to be. So I'm glad I took the time to realize that. And with here and the kick flip, as you can see, I kept sticking with my back foot over and over again, like I said, and there were a couple times where I'm like, okay, I've gotten this close, it's possible, let me try to make it work. Sometimes my board slipped out, like it did right there. Other times I caught it with one foot, other times I lacked control, and maybe my board began to rocket. But after enough time and enough frustration, that also worked out as well. I rolled off into the side on the grass patch. I didn't want to count it because I thought it was super duper sketchy, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just take it. I landed it, I rolled away. Nobody's perfect. It counts. If I'm being honest with you guys, I'm really glad I had that session a couple of weeks ago. You know, despite me being all angry or upset and frustrated before that, I'm glad that I took the time to go out and skate. And if I'm being honest with you, part of me wanted to go home numerous times. Like as I was skating, I'm like, you know, maybe I should go home. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe it's just better if I just take a break and, you know, clear my head. But that's what skateboarding is for. You know, oftentimes when I'm skateboarding, I have a hard time trying to get all these like negative thoughts like out of my head and just trying to focus on like one thing. But then that's the thing that I like about skating, you know. The more that I get into it and the longer I spend skating for like a session, the more involved I get in it to where all my problems just begin to go away and it just makes me feel a lot better. Oftentimes people would always say that it's a way of comfort and, you know, getting away from reality, and I guess I'm one of those people who's saying it. I feel like it's kind of cliche and obvious, but you guys get the idea. But I think what I'm mainly proud of is how I was able to try and turn something negative that happened into a good thing. You know, it takes me a while to really realize how much, or at least how much more I've been trying to build this better mentality with myself. Like, if you've watched my skateboard setup back in like late July where I talk about my lost confidence, and you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'm glad that I took the time to take all of that anger and frustration and just me being upset and turning it into art and turning that into cultivation and as a way to positively express myself, you know, instead of me doing some other stupid stuff like drugs or, I don't know, some stupid illegal things, you know. I'm glad I was able to tune out all of that negativity or channel that negativity and turn it into positivity and turn it into positive energy. You know, after I was done with that session, I wasn't the most happy, but now that I'm looking back at it now, I'm really glad I did that, you know. I think I'm beginning to realize that maybe the whole positive feeling maybe won't completely be there like at the moment, but I think the fact that I was willing to make an effort and make it work is progress. And I feel like we should all do that, you know. Even if it's just a tiny little bit of progress, embrace that, you know. It's honestly better than nothing. So, yeah. That basically wraps up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.